society, certain things are picked up at a young age. Someone with, not always, but mostly, you get kids that go to psychologists. You get kids that, even in schools, you get kids that get singled out because how those things are often overlooked. It'll be something like, oh no, they'll grow out of it, but you know what I mean. Like even with the signs and everything, we'll be like, I know they'll grow out of it. They'll more than in terms of creativity, as having grown up in a black society, our parents don't often always support that. Not to say that they discourage us in any way, but they always want you to have a formal sort of learning. Our lives are geared towards getting a university degree, and so it's become very difficult if you want to do other things. If you want to do, writing as a career, it's not something that is advised. It's not something that is encouraged in our society. They always tell you, no, you can do that as a hobby, but you need to have something else. And I don't know if that affects us in any way, if that affects obviously the potential and obviously how much time you spend on it. And like I had said before, I had a friend who used to play cricket and was actually quite good at it, but his parents sort of forbid him from doing it. In a way, they say, no, you can't make a career out of that. And I mean, we know of people that are very successful cricket players. We know of people that have actually made something out of that. And I think that that's something that we need to work towards. I mean, as a black society, we need to start encouraging those sort of things. We need to understand that there are different ways and there are different forms in which people can make a living, so to speak. Yeah. So basically. As someone who's grew up in a family with how many women were in my family? 5, basically. I'm a firm supporter of gender equality, and I'd like to believe that I'm a feminist. And I believe that gender should not be used as an excuse, or gender should not be used as a reason for people to not to deny someone a certain anything, basically, in society. I believe that women can do just as well and can do just about anything that men can do, and they can do it just as well. Question of stereotypes, and I don't think that it's a question of people not being aware of these issues. I think people are aware of the issues. People know that people come to migrate for different reasons. And I don't know how talking about this issue, how it can be addressed by just simply talking about these issues. I'm not saying that these are things that shouldn't be addressed. Obviously they should be addressed, but I think it's more to do with people's attitude towards foreigners. And quite honestly, and I don't think that that's anything that's unique or specific to this country. I think particularly for black people in South Africa, it is exceptionally difficult because there's also the issue of xenophobia, and most of the xenophobic attack are against other African people and not Europeans or anyone of European descent. It's usually us black people being attacked. Back then in the 90s in Zimbabwe, we also had names for people who were migrating from other countries. We used to call people by, what in retrospect seemed like very derogatory names. So names like Makarush or something like that. We had those kinds of names in Zimbabwe, and to a certain extent, thinking about it now as someone who's experiencing it, and someone who's living as a foreigner in a different country, that was to a certain extent some form of xenophobia as well. And I don't think that it's something that is just unique to this country, and I think that it happens to a lot of people, in a lot of different African countries, and I think unless you've experienced it yourself, you don't quite understand the psychology behind it, and you don't quite understand how it affects the other person.